Okay, this is the part of the show now where I really enjoy talking to people around the world in the music business. And really, there's no one more the music business than this chap on the end of the phone. I've got Andy Cahan on the end of the line. Hi, Andy.
Hi there. How are you? I'm very pleased to be on your show.
It's an absolute honour as well. It came to our attention that there was a book out called The Most Famous Musician You've Never Heard Of, which is your book, and that is available on Google. There's a Google link, which we'll be publishing on our pages. But that is about how integral you've been to the music industry as a whole. Without you, it wouldn't have been the music industry it is. Is that right?
Yeah, it's an amazing autobiography. I was very fortunate to save all my archives, all my contracts and letters and postcards and posters and stickers and photographs and everything. And I scanned it all, and it created this amazing coffee table book.
It is an amazing book as well. And I must say, though, that for you to be involved with so many legendary people in the music business, the ones that actually shaped the world with the music, you're pretty handy, aren't you? There's not a lot you can't do in the world of music.
I blame the Beatles for that because when they came on the Ed Sullivan Show, that was the reason I pursued the music world, because of the Beatles.
Brilliant. Well, I'll tell them when I see them next. How did you start then? What was the, were you able to pick up a guitar and make a tune out of it without much hassle, or was it a more contrived entry into the business?
Well, let's see. I knew how to play piano. My father taught me a little basic piano. And then, of course, when I saw and heard the Beatles, they were my teachers. I would listen to Ringo playing the drums, and I taught myself how to play the drums from listening to Ringo. And all the wonderful melodies and chord progressions that Lennon, McCartney, and Harrison used really inspired me to write songs every day that were not normal. They had weird chord changes and different melodies. So it's just wonderful. I love the creative world that music provides me.
Now, as a musician myself, there are people that are easy to work with and there are people that are not so easy to work with. But would you say the reason that you've been so successful in your career, that you've also got a diplomacy about you that makes it easy? You're able to be empathic with the people that you're working with in the music world? Well,
personality has a lot to do with it. I'm very easy to get along with. I'm a crazy guy I like to make people laugh. I like to enjoy myself. I don't like to get serious. I like to take life and make it fun. And I think that's what music should be.
100% agree.
When I was with Jimmy Seals of Seals and Crofts, we had so much fun together. And Dr. John and I had a lot of fun. And Little Richard was amazing. He was the sweetest, greatest guy and the most amazing entertainer.
Really? So the person behind the musician as well was everything you thought it would be?
Yeah. So there's a lot of great stories in my book about Billy Bob Thornton and Ray Bolger, who was the straw man in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, right.
And, I just met so many amazing celebrities that I had to put it in a book.
I'm so glad you have. Now, before we tell everybody how to get hold of the book, as you were going over these memories and stickers and posters, etc., there must have been something that stuck out in your mind as a sort of the pinnacle of your career. Now you can look back on it in some sort of entirety. Was there any one moment that you'd say, oh, that really was special?
I became very, very close friends with Harry Nilsson.
Wow.
And we recorded 35 songs in my living room on a 4-track cassette machine. And one day he invited Ringo Starr over to the living room to do some children's stories. But then after that, we drove over to Ringo's house, and we sat there in his living room, and Ringo had a couple of guitars sitting around. So I asked Ringo if I could play one of his guitars, and he said, sure. And I picked it up and I started strumming. And then Harry Nilsson started to sing, I listen for your footsteps coming up the drive, and then Ringo started to join in. And here I was playing Don't Pass Me By with Ringo Starr and Harry Nilsson in Ringo's living room. I mean, to me, that was like unbelievable.
It sounds incredible. Well, the book is going to be, I haven't read it yet, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's an honor to speak to you. It really is. You're such a lovely, warm person. I can tell from over the phone. How can people get hold of your book? What's the easiest way to find it?
The easiest way is if you Google the most famous musician you've never heard of, then it'll pop up on Google right away.
I'm thinking maybe it'd just be fun to take a plane over to say and shake your hand in person and pick up one in person, just because that would be a little adventure in its own right.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really a great book. I'm amazed at how wonderful it came out. It only took me 4 years.
Well, listen, let's hope that the adventure isn't over, Andy. It's an absolute honor, as I said, to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time on the phone. And we're going to play one of your tracks now, and it's Me, Myself, and I. You mentioned Harry Nilsson, and I believe it's Harry's voice on that one.
Yes, that was the soundtrack for a movie with Joe Beth Williams and George Siegel. We recorded his vocal on a 4-track cassette.
Well, it isn't what you've got, it's what you do with it.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Well, and so are you, sir. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to look forward to playing that record now, and I'm going to look forward to reading the book. I hope one day that we meet in person.
Well, that is absolutely wonderful, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
No problem at all. And I don't want this conversation to end, but I do have to end it at some point. But thank you so much for talking to us, and good luck in the future, Andy.
Okay, goodbye for now.